Hi friends, recently South Korean president has visited India and there is something important behind this visit. We will understand that and also how South Korea is making India a global superpower. South Korean President Lee Jae-Myung visited New Delhi for a 3-day visit from April 19 to 21, that is yesterday. South Korea is no stranger to India. Already there is a deep and long-lasting economic bilateral relationship between the two nations. How is South Korea important for India? South Korea is one of the few countries in the world with expertise in cutting-edge manufacturing technologies. Now, manufacturing is where South Korea is making India a global superpower. Let us see how. It has immensely supported India in our manufacturing ambitions, and its continued support is essential in certain industries as well. Which are those industries? First one is obviously the automotive sector. As we all know, Hyundai Motors is a household name in India. They manufacture cars in India under two famous brands, Hyundai and Kia. They invested billions in India over the decades and employ thousands. Currently, it is the second largest car maker by volume in India. Samsung, no need of introduction. This is a South Korean multinational manufacturing conglomerate and they have multiple manufacturing plants in India, primarily for consumer electronics and mobiles. They play a major role in India's recent success of electronics assembly and exports. We have seen in one of our previous video about our electronics exports rapidly increasing. Anyways, so there's a fun fact. Samsung's Noida factory is the world's largest mobile phone manufacturing facility by production capacity. Then comes steel production. In India, the steel sector needs investment, particularly in low carbon technology, because as the EU has emission related barriers, Indian manufacturers need this new kind of technology, which South Korea has obviously, so that we can export the steel more efficiently. As we already know, India is already one of the major steel producers in the world, but we need some extra technology, new technology to increase our export. Shipbuilding sector. Now, South Korea is one of the few countries that dominate this sector. India needs South Korea's help to reduce our dependency on China, which is again another important shipbuilding country. Growth in the Indian shipbuilding industry is a strategic imperative, not just for India, but for all our partners to diversify from China. In other segments, South Korea is expected to support India in its effort to scale manufacturing capabilities in various parts of the semiconductor supply chain. Then it is South Korea is again one of the few countries with the kind of tech and expertise for manufacturing chips and high-tech screens. Why is this important for India? Because India is planning to expand its electronics manufacturing, and for that chips and high-tech screens are very important. South Korea has shifted from relying on allies like the US for regional security to taking a more proactive role in the Indo-Pacific, which explains the reason of the current visit of South Korean president. Defense exports exploded from near zero, hitting US dollars 14 to 23 billion annually by 2025, making South Korea a top global arms supplier. India will be, of course, interested in this because we want to diversify our own arms suppliers. In summary, both nations share a stake in the stable Indo-Pacific that is free from Chinese aggression or the US inconsistency, positioning them as a rare mutual partners, that is India and South Korea. Thank you.